new things are something called phase shift, which is like making it in sync, transforming it to what it needs to be, and vertical translation or vertical shift. You do it the same way every time, so don't fight it. Now, does anybody know, let's look at these two graphs. Okay? What picture do you automatically see in your head? Okay. And if I fill in 0, I get 0, which is the most important point there, right? Now, remember when you first learned that in algebra, if you're like most students, you thought that would go back 2, and it didn't. Do y'all kind of remember it did the opposite? I don't know if anybody ever told you why, though. That used to bother me. Like, why is that happening? Well, I knew what made this 0. What makes this 0? It gives me a new 0. So my new 0 is at 2. Do y'all see now why that's happening? Think about that with me for a minute. That gives me my new vertex. I want to see what makes that 0. So same thing here. Phase shift, well, I'll show you that in a minute. So I want to see what makes that 0, because up until now, class, that hasn't been there. And it's always been just 0 makes that 0. 4 times 0. Now, so you'll set this equal to 0. And then you'll solve for x. That'll give me 4x equals pi. And so x is pi over 4. So it's going to shift to the right, pi over 4. It'll tell you where to go. And then it'll go up 5. I'm talking very adamantly because what's so important, and this is pretty easy, even though it sounds hard. If you start here, then you just do what you were doing. You're just not starting at 0 going 1, 2, 3, 4. You're starting somewhere else and going 1, 2, 3, 4. If you could start from 0, you could start from anywhere, okay? So I circled this in red. This is my new starting place. So watch what I'm going to do. All right, so, oh, darn. All right, so the very first thing I want you to do is, and by the way, the trickiest part of this is it has to be drawn to scale. So we'll have to talk more on Monday also about how are you going to make sure it's drawn to scale, okay? We'll talk a little bit about it today. Because when you're at 0, you kind of just count back and forth. I'll show you what I mean. You want to start here always. This is your new starting place, your new origin. So I'm going to go out pi over 4 and up 5. From there, I'm going to have to go up and down 4 in just a minute, okay? Do y'all see this pi over 4 up 5? That's all I've done. Now focus your attention right here, and I don't care about that anymore. I just moved it over and up, and now my graph is dragging with it. So from there, I count out 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? Now if I ask you to graph 2 periods of it, please just graph the first one. You can always extend it. Don't try to do too much too soon. All right, now, from this new starting place, I'm going to start counting by pi over 8. But don't panic. I'm going to usually need common denominators, okay? But you only have to do it once to get yourself started counting. I've got to start at pi over 4, but I have to count by pi over 8. Do y'all see what I mean? So I've got to start at pi over 4 and count by pi over 8. First of all, if I'm going to count by pi over 8, what relationship do they have to pi over 4? I shouldn't go like that. They're not the same size. How big is pi over 8 if I start counting by pi over 8 and I've called that on my paper pi over 4? Wait. How big is pi over 8 in relationship to pi over 4? It's half of it. So I should be doing this, 1, 2, 3, 4. Do y'all see what I mean? There's like a little pi over 8 back there, in fact. But I'm going that way. So do y'all see now I started here and I'm counting out 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I've got to label them. So then you'll love it when you just start at 0 and go 0 plus pi over 8, pi over 8, pi over 8. The only difference is you got to start here and count by pi over 8. So I'm going to get a common denominator. 2 pi over 8 plus pi over 8. So now I'm ready. 2 pi over 8 plus pi over 8 is 3 pi over 8. 4 pi over 8, 5 pi over 8, 6 pi over 8. I don't even care if you don't reduce them. Sometimes it helps you not to. Okay? Now, how far is it from here to here? How far is it from 6 pi over 8 to 2 pi over 8? How far is it from 2 to 6? Wait a minute, don't try to do 2. It's just 4 pi over 8, right? 4 pi over 8, what's that reduced to? So haven't I marked off a period of pi over 2? So it'd be just like it used to be over here, now it's up there. Do you see how all this is working? Okay, now, what graph do I have? Now we got the easy part. What graph do I have? A sine graph. So I start right on my target, my new target. And then from there I'm going to have to go up 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to the midline. Then I'm going to go down 4 and back to the midline. Draw 1 and then, I have confidence that you could draw more. It bothered somebody yesterday, asked me about, but isn't something back here? Well, yeah, but there's also stuff out there, right? If that bothers you, draw your second one back this way. It'll make you feel a little bit better. Do y'all see what I mean? So it's not just hanging out there. It's just you just graphed one period. Okay? If y'all remember, it looked like the picture on my calculator. So let's talk about how you could check this. Everything's freezing on me. All right, so these I think you'll probably really want to check, but as we know, it might not look very good. I just need to get rid or turn off all of these now. They'll be in my view. Or I'll tell you what I'll do. I've got it in here somewhere. All right, there it is. Okay, so say I want to check that. What did I do on my screen? I went out from 0 to 6 pi over 8. So let's do that. 0 to 6 pi over 8. And what did I count by? Pi over 8s? And it went from 1 to 9. So I'm just going to go from 0 to 10. How do we feel about what we did? I mean, I guess I could keep shrinking it a little bit and it would look just like what I did. Do y'all see what I mean? But I am engineering. I am putting in my technology what I have planned, what I have built, okay? So let's do another one. Let's do this one. I think there's another one in here. All right, so we're going to do this one. Y'all help me remember this. 3 cosine 2x plus pi minus 4. Okay, so 3 cosine 2x, something with pi and a 4. Does anybody remember? 2x plus pi minus 4. Do y'all think this one will shift left or right? It's opposite of what you think. Yeah. So anyway, let's see what happens. All right, so please start with the normal. Amplitude, y'all yell it out to me.
3.
All right, period, 2 pi over which number?
2 over 2.
2.
Which is pi.
Always this, so you get pi. So we're going to count from somewhere by pi over 4s. You're in honors pre-cal in high school. You can count by pi over 4s from 0 or from somewhere else, okay? You just gotta add it to wherever you start from. So now to get your phase shift, you always set this equal to 0. Some of y'all can do this in your head. I'm in a hurry to get some more examples, so I'm just gonna call it as negative pi over 2. Everybody can probably verify that, okay? And my vertical shift, anybody, vertical translation is negative 4. Alright, this is so important. Do this first. So I'm gonna go to back pi over 2 and down 4. This is my target. I could care less about that right there. Now I'm ready to start counting. I'm going to start at negative pi over 2. It helps to write this down. I'm not just doing the teaching. It's what I would do also. Negative pi over 2, I need to start adding pi over 4s. Okay? So I need a common denominator. Negative 2 pi over 4 plus pi over 4. Do that once and you can count, okay? I'm sorry I accidentally did this again. What's the relationship between where I am, negative pi over 2, counting by pi over 4s? How big, like,
Half.
they're half of it, thanks Will, so I need to do this. It won't always be half of it. In fact, class, I've been at negative pi over 2 and had to count by 2 pi over 3, and it would like land way out there. 0 doesn't have to land on 0. 0 is not even really there. There is no really like axis out there, okay? Alright, so now, and I'll show you a trick also that I didn't get a chance to show you earlier. Alright, let's get our red dot. Alright, your eyes are focused here. Your eyes are focused here. You can't really see my dot, but you can kind of see it. My eyes are focused on my thing. If it's sine, I'm putting it there. If it's cosine, where am I going to put it? Anybody? Okay, so I'll be at negative 1, right, Sophia? So I'm just going to go up 3. So you just look at this. Down, down 3, up 3, to the midline, and back again. I need to go back and label those. I'll do that in just a minute. And if I say graph it through 2 periods, we'll do that. This is negative pi over 2. When I add pi over 4 to negative pi over 2, I get negative pi over 4. And now keep counting by pi over 4s once you got that started. Negative 2 pi over 4 plus pi over 4 is negative pi over 4. What's negative pi over 4 plus pi over 4? 0. Plus pi over 4 plus pi over 4. This is pi over 2, and this is pi over 2. So what is this total distance we have marked off right now? Which is the period. Do you see how all of this is fitting? Okay? Now, I'll go out 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it goes middle, low, middle, high. And then we can check it on our calculator. Sorry, I didn't finish very strong there. So for just our interest sake right now, I'm going to make my window what we just did. We went from negative pi over 2 to pi over 2. We counted by pi over 4s. And my graph was down below, so I'm going to go from like negative 10 to 0. And I need to turn on the graph. I guess I'll go, well, I'll leave it there. Let's see. All right, if I'm not going to copy and paste it in there, but y'all see that we should feel good about that, okay? Now let's do one of your homework problems that you have for the weekend. It's already in assignments, so you can find it there. Like I said earlier to a couple of people that were asking me for copies of things, I just feel like I've made so many copies lately that I just thought you could just look at it. It's not really worth printing a bunch of copies to just see these equations. So if you would do them on your own paper or your iPad, you just pull it up on your screen and look at it. I didn't make copies of this. You can make copies if you want to print one. If you feel like that you severely need one, I'll be glad to try to get you one today. But this posted online. Does everybody understand that? All right, this is number 4. All right, so I'm going to say amplitude is 5. Oh, by the way, do you see now, some people feel better rearranging this. And putting that in the back. Y'all see the 2's been added. Amplitude 5, period, is 2 pi over 2. Count by pi over 4. So all that stuff's easy now. Phase shift. Anybody tell me what would happen if I set that equal to 0? What would my phase shift be? Negative pi over 2. And my vertical shift is 2. Start here. And then do what you've been doing. So I'm going to go negative pi over 2. Oh no, I actually picked one that's counting by pi over 4s. But I'll pretend like it's different. Negative pi over 2 up 2. This is your target. We're going to count by pi over 4s again. Sorry about that. I was trying to grab a different one. Negative 2 pi over 4 is right here. And then I'm going to add pi over 4. So this is negative pi over 4, 0, pi over 4, 2 pi over 4. I'm sorry, this is so similar to the other one. In fact, I hope it's not the same one. Okay, so I did that kind of fast. Start here and count by this. Get a common denominator one time. All right, it's cosine, so I'm going to start down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to come middle. I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to go middle and then low. And then you could check it on your calculator by typing these numbers in. All right, real quickly, I'm so glad I have time to do this. A good thing you can do on cosine is your first dot should be right there. Negative 5 plus 2 is negative 3. And then you have 2 minus 5, and then you'll have 2 plus 5, because it's going up and down. Do y'all see what I mean? So on cosine, 2 minus 5 should be your first dot, and since it's oscillating, 2 plus 5 would be 7. You see our range is from negative 3 to 7. Okay, and I think in assignments, I think in addition to giving you the worksheet, I think I gave you some videos of me working some of them. Okay, could possibly be I was teaching somebody a couple of, in one of my classes, where usually you can see more fun slides because they sent me pictures. But anyway, no telling what'll be there.